Welcome back to Pacific Beat St. Hey, so Kalia, if you're doing a story on Salvation Army, does that mean you get to carry a gun?
No, just because you're interviewing gangster rapper Ermin later doesn't mean it's all about guns.
Except that you're doing a story later on with guns.
No, right now it's all about salvation. Boys.
What? Let's get it.
Oh! Got my face! Got me in the face!
Everyone's heard of the Salvation Army. Whether it's the food banks, the op shops, or disaster relief, their influence is international. So who are they and how are they influencing New Zealand today? We're here at their main centre in Queen Street to find out. Everyone, meet Captain Matt Badger. How are you?
Good, mate, good.
So what is the Salvation Army?
A Christian movement committed to caring for people, transforming lives and reforming society. Anyone without discrimination can come to the Salvation Army if they need help.
The Salvation Army has been around for so many years. Who started it?
The Salvation Army started well over 100 years ago in the East End of London, and William Booth, who was the founder of the Salvation Army, used to walk in these areas and would see the poverty and would see the people in absolute desperation. He believed in people not for where they were at, but for where they could be. But that's very much at the heart of the DNA of the movement. Yeah.
And so why are you called Salvation Army? Is there a military side involved?
There certainly is. William Booth quickly realised that in using a military motif, our movement could expand in a way that also could retain the original vision.
Matt, you have the title of captain.
Yes.
What does that mean?
The ranking system in the Salvation Army is really about the designation of authority.
And is that why you're wearing a uniform?
Partly. The other reason is to be visible. We want the community to know who we are. If people are stressed, if people are in need, we want them to know who to come to.
What are some of the things that Salvation Army is doing for the community today?
Overall, it's huge. We have everything from early childhood centres. We have elderly care. We have an orphanage in Hamilton. We also have our Bethany Centre here in Auckland, which is for pregnant teenage mums. I met some young people recently for the first time whose first contact with the Salvation Army was a couple of young people who had come to lift all their furniture out of a flood-ridden house, you know, in the far north recently. Obviously food banks, community centres, the list just goes on, really.
How big is the Salvation Army here in New Zealand?
Currently, we have about 7,000 soldiers in the Salvation Army. We have about 300 what we call officers. We also have around 3,000 employees, people working for the Salvation Army, but we also have a lot of people connected within our communities.
I'm keen to find out more about the youth programs you run. Who's the best person to speak with?
John O'Bell, he works out of Royal Oak in Auckland. He would be worth talking to.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're more than welcome.
Let's go meet Jono. Everyone, meet Jono. He's one of the youth workers here at the Royal Oak Salvation Army Centre. What happens here?
We have, of course, our wonderful family stores here, which is donated goods. People donate and then we can pass on to families in need, or that we can sell on and the profits then go back into the community programs. We have food bank, we have welfare, so people that come in and need some support with food or clothes. We have a whole lot of cool life skill programs, healthy nutritious cooking, good living today, story time, an educational program for preschoolers. We have parenting programs. We have all sorts of programs like that. And of course, we have family social work team, and most importantly, we have a youth development team.
Where's your uniform?
This is my uniform.
That's it?
And this is it. Just a simple shirt to represent who we are.
So you call yourself a soldier. Are you fighting for anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're fighting against injustice. Most importantly, I'm fighting for young people to have a voice in their communities. I'm fighting for young people to be able to contribute back and to grow and develop so that they can take their place in society and be accepted for it.
So how are you doing that?
I think we can provide a real neutral place where people can be loved and accepted. And we're also not necessarily driven by a set of outcomes.
Jono, you're doing all your work as a youth worker to help. How can we as individuals help our community?
That can be anything from volunteering some of their time. It might be working in a place like the family store here, or working in the food bank, packing food parcels, or specifically with our youth programs, we're needing mentors. And there's also real practical things of donating to the Salvation Army, old goods that we can sell on or through food.
Well, thank you so much, Jono. I'm inspired. I'm going to go back to the whale and raid the cupboards and Corinne's wardrobe to bring some things in. If you guys want to find out more, check out the website and we'll see you back at the house. Bye.
Nice shot. Now it's prize time.
That's right. Tell us, how many Olympic medals has target shooter Mike Johnson won? That story's after the break.
And you could be in to win these CDs.
The Savannah makeup. It's the same I use.
This cool-ass bag made from a North Sail.
Log on to the website now!
Hey! Those are my cans for the Salvation Army food bank. You guys suck. And your terrible shots.